Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And right now we are actually going to start with a third chapter in biology. And today I'm going to cover the levels of biological organization. And we're going to start a new chapter within this, which is enzymes. And as we talk about enzymes, uh, to understand enzymes more properly, it's very important that you understand the organization, okay? Because it all starts from that, right? So, as I given the heading, now we'll understand it way better, right? So, first of all, if we think like quite deeply right now, what do you think we are made up of? Yes, we are made up of cells, but what is more into the cells? What is more that cell is made up of? Let's just understand that. If we take chemistry, we know that our everything is made up of atoms, right? For example, H, hydrogen and oxygen. Then an atom is formed into the second thing, which is called a molecule. For example, H plus H equals to what? Equals to H2. Okay? So an O मतलब O2. Okay? Or if we talk about any other things. Now if we talk about the third step, okay, once two molecules are combined together, what is formed? You see that simple compound, right? It's just a compound that is formed when the molecules are together. And there's a debate between the difference between compound and molecule, which we are not here to talk about. But then how about we just see that, for example, we get H2O, we get a CO2. These are simple compounds. And once simple compounds are made, we see that there's a fourth formation of organelles. When these compounds come together, a organelle is formed. And what do you mean by organelles when I say organelles? Do you think the organs that are of our body, like heart, lungs? No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about cell structures. Okay, what cell structures I'm talking about? The one just we learned in our last chapter. What were they? They were membranes. Okay, they were mitochondria. Okay, and in this it also includes everything. Okay, and once we're done with the fourth part, we see the fifth level of organization, which is what? Sorry, I missed the fourth part. I overtook the fourth with the fifth. It's okay. This is the fifth one. The fourth one is actually the complex compound. Once you see that simple compound is made, you see a complex compound being formed, right? What is a complex compound? For example, you talk about protein, okay? You talk about DNA, okay, which is present in a nucleus. It is a complex compound. You talk about lipids, okay? You talk about carbs, you talk about glycerol, okay? Everything is what? It is complex compound. And more complex compound that you see could be glycogen, okay, which is found in, okay, where it is found in lungs as what? As storage. ठीक है, ये रिजर्व फूड होता है किसके अंदर? एक एनिमल के अंदर, एक एनिमल की बॉडी के अंदर. So these are all complex compounds, and when these complex compounds come together, they make organelles like cell structures like membrane and mitochondria. And once these organelles are formed, what is the next step? What do you guys think? It will be definitely what? Definitely a cell that is being formed. And what is cell? We consider it as a basic unit of life, right? That's what we have learned so far. For example, we just learned a lot of cells. Like we learned about the sperm cell, we learned about the neuron cell, right? We learned a lot of different cells. Okay? And once a cell is formed, we see and we have learned that a cell makes, when one type of cell combines, we make tissues. Okay? What do they make? They make tissues out of it. Okay? How tissues are formed? When same type of cells combine together. Okay? They make what? They make cells. For example, tissues. For example, xylem, the one we just learned. Okay? We talk about capillaries. Okay? We talk about capillaries. We talk about muscle tissues. We talk about phloem. Okay? The tissues are not only present in animals, they are also present in plants, which is vascular bundles, right? Xylem, phloem. So these are what? These are tissues. And once a tissue is formed, we know that what is next? It is definitely what? It is an organ. And now here a lot of students get confused, in which is like an organ is made up of same type of tissues. No, they're made up of different types of tissues. Okay? For example, your heart will have capillaries, your heart will have muscle tissues, both. Okay? Different types of tissues. Okay, let me just also write the examples like heart. You talk about skin. You talk about liver. You talk about leaf. Okay? They all are made up of what? These are organs. Right? And once an organ is formed, we see that there is an organ system. Okay? Which is ninth. Organ system is formed. What do you mean by organ system? Have you guys ever heard about digestive system? Where a lot of organs work together and they form a system. For example, a digestive system is combined of like stomach, small intestine, large intestine, your esophagus, your mouth, and everything. So that's organ system. And once an organ system is formed, you get the 10th and the last system, which is an organism. And that's what the biological formation is. And that's how a human, a plant, a mint, which is a plant, a bacteria, is formed, right? So this is the level of organization that all of our students should know. Let me just remind it as well. Once there's an atom, the atoms combine together to the molecules. Molecules turns into the simple compounds, and some simple compounds to complex compound, which is more like protein. In your daily diet or in your daily intake, you take protein. The DNA that is present in the nucleus is also a complex compound, and that complex compound is made up of makes organelles like membrane, mitochondria, chloroplast, different things. And these organelles together make what? Make cell, which is the basic unit of life. For example, we learn about sperm, we learn about neuron, and these cells actually combine together the same type. They combine together and they make tissues, right? For example, xylem. They talk about capillaries, we talk about muscles, we talk about phloem, and then we talk these different tissues combined together and we get an organ. Just a heart, skin, liver, leaf. And when these organ combine together, like 1 or 2 organ or 3 to 4 organs come together and they work together, they make an organ system. For example, digestive system. I'm not only taking example of digestive. We also learn about nervous system. We talk about reproductive system. Every organ is working for it. And once you're done with the organ system, then an entire organism is formed, which is human, which is a mint, which is a plant, a bacteria, a dog, a cat, and everything, right? So this is all about levels of organization for today's video. I hope you guys liked it and might have some questions about it. If you guys have any, you guys can ask me in the comment sections and I'll make sure to answer that as well. And in my next video, we're going to start a new chapter, which is enzymes, and this was like your basic foundation for the biological organization. So be there with the next video.